What's up, guys? I am the Squirrel's Nuts. Today bringing you a very quick game on Bazaar Team Deathmatch. Now, I've been playing Team Deathmatch recently, mostly to play around with shotguns and skill my recon class up and this kind of thing. It is quite a good game type. If you're getting a little bit tired of vehicles or you just want some fast action, very good for unlocking weapons because it is pure infantry. This particular game is 9 minutes long, so I'm going to have to talk fairly quickly because I've got quite a few things I want to discuss. I was playing the M1014 initially with Team Deathmatch, and I was playing around with different kinds of different kinds of ammunition. You know, the frag rounds and the slug rounds, just trying them out. And I was getting like 6 for 11, you know, 6 kills, 11 deaths. I was going 14 for 6, and then I was going a couple of 10-10s. This particular game, I thought, you know what, screw it. I'm going to go with my UMP-45 and a silencer. And I think I stick a tack light and a scope on this particular game. And the difference is ridiculous, and it is literally down to the silencer, you know. If you shoot unsuppressed weapons, as you know, you appear on the map. You slap a silencer on there, and all of a sudden, people do not start rolling up and killing you as you unleash your weapon. And it makes a massive, massive difference. So, just wanted to mention that really, I suppose. I'm going to talk about in a minute about balance. Now, people have commented on my videos and have said things like, oh, you know, you've got a infrared scope, you love an infrared scope on your guns. What a noob. And, you know, I think to myself, well, why should I care what you think, firstly? If you think I'm a noob, that's fine. But, why would I not use an infrared scope? If there's something in this game that gives you an advantage, why would you leave it out? Why would you let other people use it against you and not use it yourself? I mean, is that some kind of weird principle thing that I'm not getting? It kind of feels like, you know, like the Afghan army are sat there with their AK-47s and their RPGs, and the US army turn up in an Apache gunship, pod rockets, and a pilot with infrared vision, and you can see them and just blows the hell out of them. Now, if the Afghan army turn around and say, oh, you're a bunch of noobs doing that, you know, you've got infrared and an Apache and rockets, do you think the US army are going to give a blind bit of difference? They've got a massive advantage. Why would you not use it? Same thing with the tack light, really. You know, it's going to get nerfed at some point. They've already said they're going to nerf it. Unfortunately, it wasn't in the recent patch. It is giving people an advantage because it blinds the other player too much. The infrared scope gives you an advantage because it lets you see things much more clearly, and in particular, it lets you see people camped out or against, you know, trees or this kind of thing. You can just, as you can see there, you can see people much more clearly, so it gives you a massive advantage. I don't think it should be taken out of the game, but I do think it needs nerfing. Perhaps it should require 2 weapon slots in order to have, you know, your scope and then your infrared. You know, maybe that would nerf it a little bit. But at the moment, this is the way it works, and I'm going to use it because it gives me an advantage. Got a problem with that? Well, that's just tough. Moving on. Balance. Battlefield 3, in my opinion, is too complicated. You know, we've got 4 classes, each class has gadgets, we've got tons of vehicles, we've got vehicle unlocks now, we've got weapon unlocks, we've got separate weapons on each side. This game is probably impossible to balance. I don't believe DICE are ever going to be able to balance this game properly. A lot of people, you know, when they talk about balance, they hark back to Call of Duty 4 and say, oh, that was a, you know, it's a perfectly balanced game. Well, if you think about that, Call of Duty 4 was a very simple game. It only had 3 kill streaks. You know, there's kill streaks in Call of Duty, and it only had 3. It had the sort of UAV, the airstrike, and the helicopter. And you got them specifically at a certain number of kills. And if you know, they didn't stack, so if you let it go up to the airstrike, you lost the UAV. And that kept things simple. And the weapons, there weren't that many weapons, there weren't that many gadgets on them, and because of that, they could get it nice and balanced. Modern Warfare 2 went completely crazy. Modern Warfare 3, they've brought in, you know, different set of ways of balancing the game, but these games are getting too complicated, and Battlefield 3 has gone the same direction. It's made the game extreme, there's an extreme number of variables. And what I don't agree with is things like different weapons doing different damage and basically giving you an advantage. And people are very good at figuring out which weapons are better than other ones, and they'll stop using the ones that don't work. And at that point, you've got an imbalance on your hands. Now, my concern for Battlefield 3 is really the future of it. If you consider what's going to happen this Christmas, we're not going to be slaughtering just turkeys. We're going to be slaughtering tons of new players. They're going to come into this game. The best bet is to go Team Deathmatch. I hope some new people are listening. If you are coming in starting playing at Christmas, just go into Team Deathmatch initially and try and unlock some stuff on your weapons and skill your kits up and try and get some decent weapons going before you even venture into Conquest and Rush. Because what's going to happen is when you start coming up against vehicles, you're going to have no unlocks for them, and you're going to come against people who have all of the unlocks for them and know how to use them. So the moment you try to fly a heli or a jet, you are going to get utterly stiffed. They're going to have all the unlocks, you're going to have none, you're struggling how to use the damn thing. It's going to be bloodshed, there's going to be tears. And I think that's my problem at the moment. I don't know how DICE are going to fix that particular one, because that's the direction they've chosen to go with the game. But having vehicle unlocks brings its own problem. Weapon unlocks aren't so bad, but vehicle unlocks are, I think, a bit of a problem for the future of Battlefield 3. Recent patch, that's come out on the PC. It's not yet hit the consoles at the time I'm making this video. This is PS3 footage, and we're still waiting for some desperately needed fixes. Notably, the VoIP doesn't work. You can't have proper chat. It's just terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Now, the PC has got squad management stuff in it. I'm hoping that's going to bring over to the consoles, but we'll wait and see. They've put some more stability things in, but it seems to me that DICE has ignored a lot of stuff that people have been crying out for and just made some things up that people didn't ask for. And a classic example of that is the Stinger. They've nerfed the Stinger. For some reason they thought that Engineer's anti-aircraft missile was too good, which is utter nonsense. It's very hard to shoot things down. People with stealth, it takes a while to get a lock on, then they flare, and if you hit, you get a disable. But the new Stinger, it's harder to lock on, it takes longer. Even if you get past some of these flares and you hit them, chances are they won't flipping well die. I don't think you even get a disabled off your first missile. Why the hell DICE did that, I don't know. Anyway, we've pretty much run out of time. I could probably rant on forever. Let me have your thoughts. Let me have your comments on, how you think. What do you think about the scopes and the use of scopes and using things that give you an advantage? Do you think DICE should take things out, nerf them? Do you think people should not use them on principle? Do you think the new patch is a good one or a bad one? Let me have your thoughts. I'd be quite happy to hear them and discuss them. That's it from me. And take care, guys. Hope you enjoyed the background video. I did quite well in that one. Cheers.